Yo, what's up, y'all? You're now tuned into another episode of the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic, aka Stirring the Pot, because we stirring today. We moving and booming. Hey, listen, I got an alumni, y'all. I got a Stirring the Pot / the Pot alumni. You know what I'm saying? This is one of my guys. This is the OG. This is a real one. And he back to tell y'all some news. But matter of fact, instead of telling y'all, we going to show y'all. Keep it locked. I'll be right back.
It ain't a game. I earned this name. One punch. And it came from the streets. And I took it all over the world. Everywhere where you never been. Let's go. Real story. Real time. Stay tuned. Stay locked in. Let's go.
And this house is on fire. The lights are on tonight at M&T Bank Stadium.
We didn't win a Super Bowl today.
There's a trick where motivational speakers ask the audience to stand up as tall as they can. And when they do, they ask the crowd to rise just a little bit taller. They always can. Because there's always higher to rise.
I don't want much, fuck, I drove every car. Some nice cooked food, some nice clean drawers. Bird ass niggas, I don't mean to ruffle y'all. I know you waiting in the wing, but I'm doing my thing. Where's the love? I said, where's the love? In the heart of time.
It be a buck 50. This here's a run, it is empty. Leave it like a chip slipped in. I'm so on the low and taking Navy SEAL to get me when I surface. If not chips and vengeance to purpose on your team, I put
Hey, y'all can see. Y'all see what it is.
Blood, that mean the creeps start working. Cats are never learning, let their eyes keep lurking. Have your millionaires pumping, your X5 murking. Skip off the street, heart skip the beat. Beat? Kid, I overcooked that meat. Get no sleep, only rest is in between the blink. My life story was written in blood, permanent ink. And the instinct, R.I.P. I'm gotta think like that, cause forever I'll be needing them. Playing flawless, mistakes never.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all see what it is. Folks, I got Simon One Punch Carr here, y'all. And as y'all can see, he back in the ring. What's poppin', my guy? You there, Punch? All right, we having some type of technical difficulties right now. It's like he in and out, but as y'all can see,
I'm here.
are you here?
Everywhere. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. What's happening?
Ain't nothing. What's happening with you, man? I'm happy to see you, my guy.
Oh, man. Live and direct. It's good to be seen, brother.
Hey, man, how you been since the last time, we chopped it up? You know what I mean?
Been good, man, brother. I've been, just back to work, man. Back to the grind, man. Demonstration is better than conversation.
Absolutely. Demonstration better than
Right.
conversation. And listen, So where you at right now, Punch?
Just leaving the weigh-in, man. We're waiting for another professional fight, yeah?
The weigh-in, you about to, oh, man, listen, folks. The OG is back out here. He about to be putting them right back on the canvas. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's doing this thing. He back, yo.
Working right back around, man. Working back around, demonstrating, man. We tired of the lip service, man. Showing is better than telling.
Hey, I'm going to need you to stir one time for me for that one, my guy. Hey, yeah, we
Stirring the pot, brother. We're cooking up, man. And yeah, we're cooking up. Demonstration is better than conversation.
That's a fact. So, hey, Punch, man, tell me, how did this happen, man? How did this happen? Like, what made you want to get back into the ring, man? And what made you wanted to, come back to the world and get back to doing what you do best, man?
Listen, I guess tired of being sick and tired. At the end of the day, man, it's cool being known as One Punch and going in rooms and different things and starting other businesses. A friend of mine said, man, being all over the world, being Mr. Everywhere and traveling and meeting some amazing people want to see your journey. Sometimes you got to go back to the beginning and pop out and show. You know what I mean? It's like Kendrick
You
Lamar.
gotta pop out and show. Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta pop out, and it's just time, man. And I just went on and did it, man. Cause like you gotta realize, boxing early on, and that's one generation, and one generation know me, but then the younger generation that come on after me is like they hearing stories, but it's not like damn. Now they starting to ask, well, why they call you One Punch, and they just think it's just like a colorful name. There's no demonstration behind it because they don't see nothing. So sometimes you got to go and show them, even at this height of your career and where you at with your life, go back to the beginning and remind them why they called you that. And that's what we did.
hey man, that's dope within itself because that's inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who was your first? Who was this guy that was that your first fight in the clip that I played?
Yeah, that was my first fight back, of course.
Who was the guy? Who was the contender that you was fighting, man? Who was this guy?
I forgot. He had a foreign name. He was Indian. You know what I mean? He came from like a real native chief. They had all these people with big feather hats. It was crazy. He belonged to a real Indian tribe, but he was strong and he was game. So he came very, very determined, tough guy, and for real, that's what I need, man. I really need these tough challenges and people that's gonna really push me because I'm only inspired to be great and unless I'm challenged. So I want it. It's basically at the end of the day, if life is easy, it's gonna make you easy. I really, like gotta really, prepare from the muscling and go hard, man. Go hard. Yeah. So I mean, that's some of the things that I remember. That's where I come from, and it's just going back to the origin. From the beginning phases of roughness, man. I came up around real men that really didn't tolerate games. We didn't play. And hey, they set you down and they talk to you like, look, they told you about world events. They told you about what was going on, in the neighborhood, and they didn't tolerate any foolishness. And if you played games, they would send you home. Go home for the day. Take the week off. You know what I mean? They ain't play. So we ain't never want to go home. We acted right and we acted accordingly. You know,
Yeah.
mind our manners and really listen when that's what I'm demonstrating. I think, males around, they talk about as men, I'm a man, but where's the real males with real testosterone and when that really demonstrate and show that exemplify real leadership. That's what I come up under.
Right, man. So to be an example is very important, because of
That's correct.
yeah, so I dig that, man. So what's the end game? You know what I'm saying? What's
What's
the
the
end game?
end game?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm what you said first, man. I think it's inspiring. Taking, taking. I went away for a decade early on. I was inspiring, um, amateur hopeful. You know that made it all the way up to, the qualifiers for the Olympics. And on the eve of me qualifying for the Olympics. A tragic situation happened that set me down for a decade. I went on and sat down for a decade, and I came back when they thought that everything was over for me. And I came performed at the height of my career that took me all the way up to, you know, a title shot. And, and then right after that, I went away, I stepped away and started businesses, worked on my life, mental health, all those things. Because, it was good being an athlete, but I wanted to really grow as a human being. I wanted to grow from a humanity standpoint. It's good to be renowned and know stats and all that. That's barbershop talk. But
Right.
in terms of functioning in the real world, learning about the computer, learning about human emotions, right? I had
Right.
to really go and demonstrate and go away and learn that. So you can't learn that when you running around, being an athlete. You had to really lock in terms of whatever the craft was. So the craft was wanting to be a decent human being. You can be a great champion, as an athlete, but it being an even yoke human being, just being prepared, knowing about life, learning about different things on life. That's where I worked on, and it took some time. I had to go and see some things, travel the world, learn about my likes and dislikes. And now, I'm back. I can have an opinion. I just didn't want to be pretty much, a one trick pony. What I say by that, they say, well, one punch, what you mean by that? What I would say by that is the fact of, you know, all I know about is boxing, just basketball. You can't tell me anything about what's going on in the world, what's going on in our community, what's going on in politics, what's going on in the household. I couldn't. I was because all my life it was all invested into being a superb athlete. So I
Right.
had to catch up and go back to school and learn about being a superb human being, and that took some time, and that took some mental health and physical prowess and everything. So when you gain something, it always says when you gain something, you lose something else, right? Case in point, when Stevie Wonder lost his sight, he gained insight. He
That's right.
gained, yeah, all your other senses get strong, So, yeah, I was also always Superman, but then I had to strengthen my Clark Kent cape as well.
That's right, man. And you're a humanitarian as well. So let's talk about a little bit of humanitarian work that you do for the community. Tell the people a
Yeah.
bit about
So I'm a committee person. I got a nonprofit. I have a nonprofit called JAB, Juveniles Against Bad Behavior, where we get the kids off the street and we teach them the art of conflict, you know, conflict resolution. We teach them about, how to step away from being bullied and not bullying others, teaching you the
your
art
signal
of
a little
combat
popping and breaking up a little bit,
and
Pun.
as well. You have to how to. Yeah, well, we got to know in terms of how to resolve an issue before it even escalates, and once it resolving it before it even gets there. You got to know what points to take it away or deflate it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody has testosterone. Everybody knows how to, proceed to be tough, but how do you deflect the energy? Bruce Lee once said he's not the toughest person, it's the person that can walk away and
Mhm.
resolve an issue that makes you tough and makes you great. I don't, I already knew about brute strength. I already knew about how to be the alpha male, right? But now how to de-stress it before it gets to that challenge. That was an art that I had to master.
Right. So, how has the fast pace and competition in boxing affect your mental health well being?
Well, now actually this month is mental health month, right? Yesterday was just mental health day, you know,
Right.
um, and October the 10th. So I feel like at this point it's all good because you got need to have. I got into boxing because um, I had a lot of pent up aggression. I lost both of my parents at an early age. I was very frustrated, and I didn't have an outlet. So I used to fight all the time.
Right.
And every time I fought, I kept getting suspended from school. But the unique thing, the silver lining out of fighting was the fact that I realized I can draw a crowd. And each time I drew the crowd, people always got it, the crowds got bigger and bigger, right? And then, women, little girls and women standing on cars swinging book bags, and they were saying, Simon fighting, Simon fighting, Simon fighting. So one day I'm standing in front of my house and I'm fighting. My uncle heard the commotion and he came outside, and there was over 200 kids in this block. And they was like, what's going on? He looked and seen the crowd. He looked in the crowd and saw it was me. He came and he broke up the fight, pulled me in the house. So as he pulls me in the house, he said, man, why are you always fighting? I said, man, I don't know. He said, man, if you like to fight, you might as well go to a gym and get paid for it. So I went to a boxing gym and I never looked back.
Right. That's dope, man, because to know that you have this gift, it took you all over the world, man. And that's something to be highlighted in one for sure. God carried you and blessed you through this whole journey that you went through. Even the being incarcerated part of it. You know what I'm saying? Through it all, God was still honing you for something great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for you to come back and to be right back where you left, and when I say right back where you left, I mean doing what you love
Right.
is a great thing within itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Right.
do you feel like the boxing industry has it supported or hindered your mental health? How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I think because it's changed over the course of time. I mean, the beginning portion, it was a vehicle that helped me because I was able to properly channel my anger, my frustration, and learn a new trade and channel it properly.
Right.
Through the course of time, it was all I had at certain points. I mean, that vehicle, and I put a
Right.
lot into it. But when I stepped away from the
Alexa
vehicle,
mute.
huh?
No, that was Alexa going off. My bad, bro. Go ahead,
So,
continue.
well, when I stepped away from boxing, I had to learn new strategies and different things to get away from or to learn how can I, you know, um, flemish in this situation.
Yeah. So let's talk about the pressures of fame, success, and maintaining your authenticity.
So,
How do you do that as an athlete?
um, just staying genuine, man, and touching the people, inspiring the people, and getting the people to have a direction. And that's it, man. Just staying true, man. We don't, me, I've always been a leader. I always walk to my own beat and my own drum, right? So I can feel the tension and the hate or the eyes, right, of people with a certain thing, right? But the only reason why they give you that or that cut is because they see something in you. They want what you have sometimes. And when you always say, damn man, why you hate me? That's because you have an ability that they see and they like about it. And then
Right.
sometimes people don't know how to show you love or give you that sense of respect. They gonna just watch you from afar and they gonna act a certain way as opposed to say, damn man, you can show me love. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, you know. And sometimes when you throw that in there, that little jab, then that makes a person come down off their high horse. Oh man, they wasn't like that, man. I call people out on that. I deflate the room. That's called deflating the room. That's
Right.
also a boxing technique is a strategy. When you see somebody that's building up a wall of resentment or some type of hate, you call them on it. You address it. Damn, man, what's up, man? Why you acting like this, man? It's hard to smile. It's hard to be. Damn, man, we on the out?
Right.
No, man, it ain't. So now they gonna ball man because they already is building up a defense. You know what I'm
Right. But
saying? Damn,
but
man,
that's
you
a
know you
great way
love
to
me.
resolve things as well, Punch. You
Come
know what I'm
on.
saying? So for you to say that is definitely dope because you have the maturity and the mentality of a person that knows how to resolve conflict. And
Well,
conflict resolution is great for mental health.
yes.
Um, so let me ask you, man, do you think your emotional state affects your creative output in the ring?
Yeah, of course. Everybody it does. Um, Emotional state is important because if you unstable, you're not thinking logical on anything. And if you too emotional, you're unstable. So in certain things, we're gonna always have to be rational and address things from a proper manner. And as men, it's detrimental, because if you one split second can cause you the world, So even when things be happening and everything, and I know where my balance is, and I know my direction. Before, you ever have something that you something ain't right, but you can't put your finger on it, right?
Sure.
You know
Sure.
you can't, huh?
I say sure.
So for me, like I realize for me is that in certain cases, right, everybody needs that break. Everybody needs that reprieve. Every superhero, everybody, even from the biblical times, if they look at it and said the Bible, they say, yo, Jesus had to go to the mountain to pray to be close to the Father. He needed that moment to reprieve. Superman had to go to, the North Pole, was always in the mountains.
Right.
Batman had to go, to the cave,
To
to
get this
retrieve
mental
his strength. So
right.
everybody, every superhero, you can't heal in an environment that made you sick. So I always travel and I realize, a different scenery, a different thing. It breaks me up. It changes my outlook because in the same environment, I start really deflating because you see so much depression. Tupac said it best, man. When I talk about success, all I can see is the struggle. When they talk
Mm-hmm.
about money, or they tell me it's trouble, meaning that
Mm-hmm.
when when Pac when Pac was traveling and he first got out of jail, right?
Right.
He was he was writing letters to his brothers in prison and was telling them all the stuff that he was seeing, right?
Right.
And he was saying
hey, I'm in LA. I'm walking out seeing palm trees. And they couldn't relate to it because they was behind bars, right?
Right. Right.
And then he was talking about, yo, how successful it was. And they were saying, yo, be careful because they've never seen it at that level before. Case in point, I can go to the third floor. You and I both can go to the third floor and look over the balcony, and you won't feel woozy. You won't feel scared. But then some people can go to the 15th floor or the 6th floor and say, "Whoa, is a little too high." And the first thing happen when you're scared of something, you won't grab the first person around. Whoa, wait a minute, and that's called a what? A paralyzing fear. So you
Right.
have a paralyzing fear, and what happens when you have a paralyzing fear? Case in point, both walking down the street, and a pit bull runs off a leash. You're gonna grab me. So I can't run. You can't run. We going down. Oh, wait a minute. Don't leave me. Go grab. Wait a minute. Somebody gotta be rational. Or we
The
both in
whole
the
purpose
water.
is to be still, because if you don't be still, you know what's going to happen. So it's
Yeah.
a patience thing. It's a
Yeah.
patience thing. So I
So
feel you on that.
so we're both in the water and the boat goes over. You grab me and you panic and we're both going to drown or
Right.
both going
Somebody
to
got
die.
to be still in order
Somebody has
to
to
pick
be
the other one
still.
up. Somebody got to be still once again. So I feel you. Like, and that's a
So
great analogy, Punch, because, in life, that's one of the biggest lessons that we all have to learn. Sometimes it's great to be still so you can get the message. And that's the message that you're sending right there within that. Um, as an athlete, right? And
mhm.
and you've been an athlete for a long time.
Yes.
How does it feel to take your hiatus and come back and be appreciated just the same all over?
I think it's
How does
like
that feel?
everything on life you need a rest period, man. You know what I mean? That's why they got a Sunday. That's the day of the Sabbath. You know what I mean? Jesus rested
Absolutely.
on Sunday. That's what the good book say. So
Absolutely.
we all gotta rest. We gotta take a moment to rest, reflect, recharge our bodies. And I took a time and now I'm ready to run again. We sat down, we're tired, and if we hungry, we eat. But then at the end of the day, when you're done your rest, you go back and you work hard. And this is my point. And I'm like, okay, I rested long enough. I'm ready to do it again.
Do you think
Good.
mental health is taboo in the boxing community?
I think we're taught to be that, and I hope I can change this narrative. I hope I can show growth in advocating for that, and I'll tell you why. We're taught at an early age to be strong. Case in point, when you're a little kid, you get to crying. They said, "Shut up, before I give you something to cry for."
That's a
Then when
fact.
you get there, that's you cry. Oh, you crying too. So they they punch you. So then you get 6 years old. You acting up. Come here. Punch you. Want me to punch you in your chest? Yo, you stop crying. Stop being a sissy. So now you desensitizing the child. So now when the child get to 11 and you ask him what's wrong, he's like nothing, nothing, because he don't have no
Burying
emotion.
emotions. Yeah, burying emotions. Right.
So we're taught at an early age, be a man, be strong. If it ain't rough, it ain't right. All these old bullshit ass cliches. But what
Right.
they're doing is they're desensitized in emotion. This is why you see all these kids that's 14 and 13 running and shooting up, schools and synagogues, and they just had a shooting. I just seen shot up a school bus. These are all desensitized children because they told them they didn't give them compassion. They didn't give them love. I remember, um, behind the fact that I lost both of my parents at an early age, you know, I didn't really know what was missing. And then when I got with my grandma was able to enter in the void and it as an ease portion of showing me compassion. But then I lost my grandma, right? And then I realized in going through what I went through, the compassion was gone. So then when I got home and started to engage and build in a relationship, I saw that vein was gone. You know what I'm saying? And you know, my girlfriend, my first girlfriend, she tried to, hey, and the emotional vein, I was pushing her away because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. I didn't have that in my life. It was absent, right?
Yeah, I can understand and relate to that.
I
Um,
understand. I understand that. I understand the fact of a woman that can be strong and a woman that wants to be there for her man and be there for her family. I come from a one woman home, right? For the majority portion of my life. But then I also understand later on that as much as you tried, right? That
right,
one portion, that 1%, you can't teach a man how to be a man. Because certain, amenities you don't have, but you can teach him compassion, how to treat a woman. Learn it later on. Henceforth, you teaching that compassion of how to love a woman, right? But
right.
when that vein is not there, right? The compassion is what happens when you in a football game or you riding a bike and you riding a bike and you fall off the bike as a little kid and you scrape your knee. Mom is the mom or the sister or the grandma is always, oh, come here, baby, let me kiss it. That's compassion. You hug them, I'm crying, you wipe your tears off, stop crying. It's gonna be all right. Then you go back out there and you playing. Your knee might hurt, but just that love that they gave you, you forgot all about that pain. That's
That's right.
compassion.
That's
But
definitely compassion.
but let's look at this point. If you never had that, you got hit while you was playing football, you got tackled hard, nobody picked you up and anything. Now you grew up hard. Now, when you go get in a relationship and if somebody go hug you and baby, you've been pushing them away. Like, damn, what's up? What? Like, the compassion is gone. I never had that in my life. How do you identify real love if you've never really had it?
That's right. And it goes back to what you said, about burying your emotions. Um, and losing your parents, and losing your grandparent is definitely a hard situation for you to have to navigate life now because the people that could navigate you best are gone. And you gotta
Right.
basically try to figure things out. For me it was different because I had my mom, but my dad wasn't there. And I was a kid with daddy issues. Like, I want my dad. I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I was taking it out on everybody in school and all of that and fighting and all of that. And which got me sent to the system. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I was cutting school. I didn't want to go to school. And then when my dad did pop out, you know what I'm saying? He tried to show up and be the disciplinary, and it's like, yo, you ain't even been around. I ain't listening to you either, cuz. And it was like that, you know what I'm saying? But you do start to bury those emotions. So when you do get with a woman, you know, she's trying to get the vulnerable side of you, and you won't even let that side show because you got so much deep rooted pain on the inside. And
Yeah.
it takes a lot of realizing that's wrong in order to fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went through therapy and everything just in order for me to get better with that. And I still do therapy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
your mental health is a very important thing when it comes to relationships, people, because if you don't get those things in check, people ain't gonna want to be around you anyway. You know what I mean? Because they gonna see that there's something off about you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And always treat you like there's something off about you too.
Right.
So it's a good thing that you had an outlet, because your outlet was the pressure that turned into a diamond for you.
Right.
So that's a great thing, man. So let me ask you this. How has boxing served as therapy for you?
Yeah, it's been a vehicle, man. I feel like at one point in time, boxing is all I had. So it was a crutch, you know. And it was also, a vehicle. Now, I looked at my early on, my family didn't want me to box.
Why?
Started boxing out. They had their own issues, and that's what you say is the paralyzing fear. I don't want you to be like Muhammad Ali. I don't want you to get scarred. My sister, she took my application. She put it up on the refrigerator, and then when I asked her, she tried to come up with all these excuses to defuse and deflect her fear. So I had to go to my uncle, wrote my first letter to my uncle. Dear uncle, they won't let me box. Boxing is all I had. So my uncle eventually, read the letter, and he came to the house. Excuse me, and he talked to my family, my sister, and them, and they eventually allowed me to box. But early on, they was like, "Nah, I don't want to get hurt and everything." And I'm like, "Look, I can get hurt in the street and everything." And then it's not that I had resentment, but later on when it started taking off and I started getting good, I was confused because now they starting to promote me, my family. Oh, he got a fight. Give me your flyer. We coming and everything. And I'm like, y'all the same ones that want me to box. So I was confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was confused. And when you talked about early on before we got on the show, you talked about uh, your merch line, two of your shirts got sold and people were there, and that was big, and it really trickled something for me because it was funny. I was on my way to this weigh-in, and I thought about when I first launched my clothing line, Punchline,
And we
and I
gonna get
had,
into that too. Let's get into
yeah,
it.
and I
Let's talk
had
about that.
and I had some hats and everything, and I did my first site and everything, and somebody brought my first hat. I put it on my website where everything put my first hat, and I mailed it to him. And then later on, I found out my first hat was from my girlfriend, and I was like,
Support.
"Wow!" Right?
Support.
My first, huh?
Support.
Yeah, my first girlfriend. She brought my hat, and it was mailed to her and everything with a thank you card and everything. And I was just like messed up, like damn, like yo. And that was a different type of love, right? And
Right.
and I didn't really see it at the time and honor that, and later on in life I can, like, this is the hindsight, of course, that I can reflect and say, damn man, just that little bit, because I never had it. Like I felt like she got it the most because it was things in terms of life. Like, all right, me going away to prison. Here's a better analogy, right? Going
Right.
away to prison. I appreciated everybody when I got home. And even it was a period of time when I was homeless. So any type of food a person gave me, I always cherished it. I never threw it away. Like when you go over somebody's house, they say, "Here, baby, take a plate." I had all these plates piled up in my refrigerator. And my family like, "Yo, you ain't gonna eat that food, man. Throw that food out." I said, "Yes, I am." And they like, "Man, it's 3 days old. Look." And it was times when I'm like, yo, come on. They like, come on, let's go get something to eat. And I was like, no, I don't want to go get nothing to eat. It's food in the refrigerator. Like, man,
That's right.
I'm not eating that food. I'm not eating 3 days old food or nothing. So this is what my girlfriend is saying. So I didn't really understand the psychological trauma that I was dealing with. Of course, right? The mental health. We were talking about mental health.
Absolutely.
And I would feel guilt about not eating this food because of where I came from, right? So that's
Right.
somewhat of survivor's remorse, right? Because
Right.
that's what you survived from. So now she was the one that allowed me to understand, hey, it's all right. Like, we would order out, right? And I would feel so bad, like it was food in the refrigerator, because that's how they would guilt me growing up, guilt me to death. When you going out buying fast food and we got food
It's
in the
food right
house and
there.
everything,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So I didn't know I was dealing with trauma, mental trauma.
Right.
So then later on, she was the one that was patient with me and said, it's all right. Like I get a cheesesteak or a pizza, and we still have a half a pizza inside the refrigerator. And it's like, yo, that's good. As opposed to warming up, my girl just say, no, just order a new one. Order a fresh
Oh no. It
whatever. Yeah.
punch. Okay. Folks, stay tuned. People got to stop calling me. Listen, I'm going to say this one time only and one time only. Please stop calling me in the middle of a broadcast, please. People keep doing that, and I don't know why y'all keep doing that, but stop when y'all see me on. Please stop calling me in the middle of a broadcast because it makes me mess my whole situation up, and then I'll be hitting the wrong button by accident, and it keeps going on. So please, do not reach out to me in the middle of a broadcast. Keep it locked, y'all. Yeah, folks, I'm sorry about that, y'all. You know, we had Simon One Punch Carr on deck. You know, we was in the middle of a great convo, and you know, people just always constantly decide to try to call me in the middle of a broadcast. I don't know why people decide to call me in the middle of a broadcast, but they do it a lot, and it's really becoming a little too much for me. It's becoming a little too much for me, and folks, y'all gotta stop, like for real. Like, I don't want to disclose who that person was, but you know who you was. Stop calling me when, you know, y'all got to stop calling me when y'all see me trying to do my show, man. Like, for real. Please stop trying to call me. I'm waiting for my guest to get back. Simon One Punch Carr. And he should be coming back in the room shortly. Yeah, folks. So, like I said, I'm waiting for my guest to come back. Simon One Punch Carr, folks. That's my guy. And we was having a great conversation about mental health. And, you know, what he said was some valuable things. So if you guys were tuning in and you were listening to what he was saying, just know that the things that he, you know, gave to us was some gems. And they are very true. You know, you have to find a balance for yourself as a person when you when you are going through what you're going through, and to stay poised in that place mentally is very important. Um, I can use myself as an example as well, especially when a person harbors feelings. I'm waiting for One Punch to get back in. So as he gets back in, I'm going to talk to you guys a bit and share a story about myself. You know, I was a person who always held my feelings in because, like One Punch, I was told that you always have to hold your feelings in, shut up, suck it up, you know, and that's how we grew up. You know, it's a mentality in South Philly. You know, bearing your emotions is a sign of weakness. You know, when you grow older and you learn that it's the total opposite. You know, bearing your emotions and showing your emotions is a sign of strength, actually. And it gives vulnerability in a way that, you know, some people just don't understand. For those that do, they get it, and it makes it easier for people to understand you more as a person. So as we go through life, I would say to people, love those that are closest to you, and don't hold back your feelings for them, or hold what you go through, what you're going through. Don't hold back what you're going through, because it makes it easier for people to understand you. It makes it easier for people to be in relationships with you. It makes it easier to enjoy life being vulnerable. Um, and let God guide you as you go through your moments of vulnerability. Um, as men, we have a problem with being vulnerable because to a lot of people, it look like you being a sucker. You know what I'm saying? But listen, the most emotionally intelligent men know how to speak from the heart. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with speaking from the heart. When you speak from the heart, it becomes a whole lot easier to cope. It becomes a whole lot easier for people to understand you. And that's what I had to learn. You know, emotional intelligence is very important, especially in relationships with anybody that you come in contact with. So don't be afraid to do that. We only had a few minutes left, but I'm trying to get Punch to come back in. And I guess he's probably trying to fill this thing back out. I don't know what happened. But the only thing that happened on my end is I hit the wrong button by accident, because the person was calling me and it popped up the opposite way, because my phone is the other way around than usual. So yeah, you know, let me tell y'all, the way life should be for a person in a relationship should be easy. And if you don't share what you're going through, you make it hard. That is a fact. What you go through in life becomes hard the more you don't share with your mate or your friends or your family members, because they don't know how to, you know, deal with you best, you know. And the way to make it easy, Punch just hit me back. He said, bro, he got an event that he got to go to. So we only had a few minutes left anyway, and I guess he knows that, and he's looking at that too. So it's like he had to go. So Punch will be back as well. Like I said, folks, the best way to show that side of vulnerability is to make sure that, you know, you're open. Transparency is best, and that's what I try to do, you know, for my sons, for my wife, for everyone around me. You know, I'm on a journey of transparency. You know, um, coming from where I come from and how I was raised. You know, sometimes we come from families that, you know, like secrecy, and they hold secrets and things like that. Well, the person that I've become now is the total opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? So because I'm learning things and learning how to deal with life, uh, from an emotional standpoint and a moment of vulnerability in my life throughout every day that I live, it becomes a whole lot easier to be the person I am because I realized that the emotional part of it is important. So with that being said, folks, I want y'all to take that from me, take that from One Punch as well. Take it that the strongest people aren't afraid to be vulnerable and share their emotions. One Punch is definitely out here with some fights coming up. Y'all gonna see those fights coming up. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna come back on. Like, I'm gonna show y'all some fights that he got going on. But like I said, I'm gonna play this one clip of the fight, the recent fight that he had. It's not that long. It's only a few seconds, folks. But I'm gonna play it again for those that did tune in. They saw it in the beginning, but for those that didn't, I'm gonna play it here. So bear with me, y'all. I believe this is it right here.
Yeah.
It be a $150, your chance of running is empty. Believe it, like a chip slipped in. I'm so on the low and taking Navy SEAL to get me when I surface. If not chips and vengeance, the purpose on your team, I put a curtain, a beautiful hurting. Till my eyes see the blood, that mean the creeps start working. Cats are never learning, let their eyes keep lurking. Have your listeners pumping, your X5 murking. Skip off the street, heart skip the beat. Bitch. Kid, I overcooked that meat. Get no sleep, only rest is in between the blink. My life story was written in blood, permanent ink. Endless instinct, R.I.P. I'm gotta think like that, cause forever I'll be needing them. Playing flawless, mistakes never.
Yeah, so y'all can see, you know, my guy, he definitely know his work. And I know y'all seen that hard hitting hook, that hit ball and stumbled him. You know what I'm saying? Listen. This is a boxing legend right here, and to come from a hiatus, from being incarcerated, to come back to boxing and then retire and then come back, it's a beautiful thing. So here's one more.
It be a $150, your chance of running is empty. These slugs leave a nigga drug like a chip slip the Mickey. I'm so on the low and taking Navy SEAL to get me when I surface. If not chips and vengeance, the purpose on your team, I put a curtain, a beautiful hurting. Till my eyes see the blood, that mean the creeps start.
Go grab that everywhere. Never There merch. Simon One Punch Carr. Hey, listen, it's your boy Tigmatic. I had a little rough day today, as y'all can see, but I'm here nonetheless to deliver y'all a little something. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all. Bangladesh, Puerto Rico, UK, California, Miami, Philadelphia, DC. What up? You know what I'm saying? Special shout out Toronto. Y'all been rocking with me in Toronto. To all the ladies that's been watching, I appreciate y'all. On the YouTube side of things, like, share, and subscribe, y'all. We moving and booming. Listen, we got the merch still. You know what I'm saying? Grab the merch too. Thank y'all for grabbing. Thank y'all for copping. But this is one of the new ones, the Monty Collection. As y'all can see, we got some teas. You know what I mean? Grab that, cop that, grab that, wear that. Yiddy. It's your boy Tigmatic. We out. Hey, listen. I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.